All right.
Hey,
Well, I'm Andrea of Flagbridge Designs,
and I'm Lindsey of Phantom on a Budget.
and welcome to Phantom Fireside Chats, which might be what we're calling this.
We have no idea.
We have no idea. We just decided we wanted to start a podcast, which we were sort of joking about, and then things escalated quickly because we just want to yap. We want to yap about Phantom of the Opera, and now we're making it your problem.
Yep, it's everybody's problem now. So
That's our,
congratulations.
yes. And so, Lindsay, what are we talking about today?
If I read the agenda correctly, I believe we are talking about the launch of the brand new national tour here in the United States, which
Yes.
kicked off
So
on Friday officially. So
yes. So we were both at opening weekend of the Phantom of the Opera fifth US national tour, the Box 5 tour. All right. So first impressions, Lindsay.
as I talked about in the live, the cast blew me away. So just I think the level of understanding they had for their characters just right away was amazing to see. And also, fresh cast, fresh takes on all the characters. Everybody's fire. Isaiah brings it to the title role. Um, I mean, I can go on for about 2 hours on the cast alone, but that was kind of the initial first impression. The chandelier doesn't suck, and people need to chill out about it and just enjoy it. That's kind of first impressions.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It's really, I mean, and I've been back, so I went back um Saturday, Sunday, and then I actually went back last night, which was Tuesday. And even just with like one day off and just a day off, the seeing how they're already settling into the roles. Like last night, Isaiah reached through the portcullis at the end of final lair, and I lost it. I'm suing for emotional damages. Um, they're so good. I mean, they're and one of the things that I love so much about this cast is they're talented and they're also just they're fans.
Yeah, yeah,
They're like it's
big
like
time.
they're all fans, like
Mhm.
fangirling the show that they're
Yeah,
in,
yeah, which is wild and
which is
amazing.
wild and amazing. And like we don't and like the only and I will also say, well, like as a tangent, like the Mexican cast is also doing that, but like we also it's just really cool to see that level of excitement, and it's like they're hype, like the cast is hyped, so we're getting hyped, and we're all hyping each other up, and like that's just also one of the coolest things, and um just getting to see them like live their dreams. I want to ask them what their favorite fanfic is. Maybe.
AO3 or fanfiction.net. How far back do you go? Yeah, I think it was funny. So I was driving in on my way into work, which is an hour each way, so I have plenty of time to think about things. And them being fans, I think, really contributes to how quickly they have settled into the roles,
Mhm.
right? I think they have such a great understanding of who these people are. And I think part of that has to be fandom, right?
Mhm.
At least I'm assuming it is, because I don't think the rehearsal process was really that long, maybe seven weeks, I think they
Mhm.
said, which
Yeah.
doesn't sound like that much time. Um, I don't know, maybe it is. I've never opened a show, so I wouldn't know. But yeah,
Yeah. And it's interesting. It's like they were making more choices than were getting picked up. And the reason they weren't getting picked up is like their mics weren't switched on. So it was a technical choice. So
yep,
like I noticed this by Sunday they started doing it, and definitely Monday. Like I think like a direction was probably made like, hey, leave Isaiah's microphone on
hmm
during final layer, um during the entirety of final layer, no matter what.
yep,
um and And sorry, pause.
Up on the noises that he's making. So sad. I will also add, just for posterity, I've just seen it the one time on Friday, so
Hmm.
Andrew's had a little bit more experience and visuals and yeah, but I'm
Yeah,
working off of this the one time, so bear with
yeah,
me while I try to recall things. But yeah,
yeah, yeah. And also, first podcast, I got a disruption and figured out how to like pause notifications. But yeah, no, like, and so like his microphone was still on, so you got like the little ad-libs, and I also noticed that during All I Ask of You reprise, like the little nose and stuff. So which like you could see before that, like his mouth was moving, you knew like he was saying something, but you couldn't hear it. And then
yeah,
similarly, you could also hear Jordan screaming during Stranger Than You Dreamt It.
that's
Yeah,
impressive.
yeah.
Because I thought
Uh,
she sounded a little bit tame on Friday, but I'm guessing now that's just the mic wasn't turned on.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so let's let's talk about the staging and the technical elements. I think we need to clear something up once and for all. I need people to like stop asking questions about the Restage tour.
Right. Yes, I've gotten at least 20.
Yeah,
Um,
there are not a lot of things I'm salty about. And one of these is like they have been telling us for like a year that this is
yeah,
Replica.
yep, yep. And
And
if you pay attention to the advertisements, you would know the difference between the restage, which is almost always in red,
right,
right, versus the replica model, which is now black and blue, right?
right,
So, but again, do your
right.
research, guys. It's not the restaged version.
Right. And if people and if people aren't don't notice that, like the advertisements were Replica. Like,
Yep,
look, and so their advertisements have a masquerade staircase.
yep. Killian Donnelly doing his thing, right? That's
Right.
period
Right.
dot. So if that wasn't the
Every
hint that you needed,
every Instagram post I have, people are like, is there a staircase in masquerade?
yeah, yeah, same.
I'm
I've
like,
gotten four of those questions on Facebook, actually, of all places. So, yep,
the one thing that I think threw people that yeah, right. Now I do think it threw people off that the chandelier does not start on the stage.
it does, and I think that was probably visually the most triggering thing, and throwing people
Yeah.
back into the restaged loop. Um, and also, I think maybe they just all have restaged PTSD. I know I do, because I kind of had that reaction too
Hmm.
when I first saw it. I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. Um, but it does work, and despite the fact that it doesn't start on stage, I think it actually, in the scope of the entire production, I think it works a lot better in this one
Hmm.
because it goes straight up and down, right?
Yeah.
It makes so much more sense. Physics, one, but
Yeah.
from a storytelling perspective too, like he's not hurdling a chandelier at Christine at the end of Act One.
So
Right.
and it also like with the storytelling, like the chandelier is supposed to fall on the audience,
Yeah, yeah, it's the entire point, right? In
right?
canon, it falls on
In
the audience.
canon, the chandelier falls on the audience, and having been under that chandelier on Sunday afternoon, that is it falls fast. It is
Yeah,
scary. It is really scary. It's fast and
yeah.
it's loud. It really works. Um, so how does that compare? So my very first Phantom was either the second, I think it was the second, because the second and third national tour overlapped.
Overlap. Yep.
I think I saw the second national tour just based on I was like it was at the Wang Center in Boston, 1996, and my
Nice.
Christine was definitely Sandra Joseph, and I don't know who my Phantom was. Like I know who the principal Phantom was, but I don't know who it was
That
then
day.
that
Yep.
day. Like I have a pretty good idea. I'm pretty sure I saw Sandra Joseph. Um, and it was a chandelier that was not, I don't remember the chandelier being that impressive. But it was a chandelier like that fell came straight down into
hmm
blackout. So give us some chandelier lore, Lindsey.
let's start first off with the design of the old chandeliers. I think that's also kind of
Yeah.
kicking people into a bit of a tizzy as well. Like back in the day, right, when these tours were being launched, the flagship productions were just getting started, materials were a concern, and part of the reason why the chandelier was oval shaped is to help save on just the size and the weight of the chandelier, right? So now in 2025, we don't have to worry about that so much. So we can have a truly full-size circular chandelier, which is a hell of a lot more impressive looking. Love Ruthie, love Ruthie too, love all of those old ones. But in my opinion, I think it looks so much more impressive. So different productions worked a little bit differently. For the most part, when we think of original production, we think of the chandelier starts on stage, swings back and up over the audience, and when it comes crashing down at the end of Act One, of course, it comes down and then forward onto the stage. And physics be damned, like that's how it's gonna work. And that is not the case here. But I also think of the Las Vegas production, which was wildly different, especially in the chandelier side, where the starting position was very strange. It had 4 different pieces kind of hanging from the ceiling that they would kind of fly around and assemble. And when it did crash, it crashed down straight down at almost gravity speed. So a little bit faster than the one that we saw on this tour, but not too much faster. And same thing, like flash blackout right on top of the audience heads. And as far as you know, if you're sitting around there watching this happen, they all just died. So it was a great effect. And yeah, original production, I think people really still are very wrapped around the axle about it starting on stage.
Hmm.
And I wish, having seen this now and seen it work really well, I'm fine letting that go, right? Because I think the fall effect is worth it,
Yeah.
right? Absolutely worth it because it's very reminiscent of Vegas for me, and that hands down will forever be the best chandelier that we'll ever see. But this
Yeah.
is pretty damn close. And so I can forgive it not starting on stage because of how it has to be rigged and the effect that it offers later in the show. Hands down, absolutely worth the trade-off. So, because I've also seen, again, going back to the size of the chandelier, the
Hmm.
design of the chandelier, I've seen several people complain about the new chandelier. It does, it's not the same. It doesn't look right. It's ugly. I'm like, guy, if that's your definition of ugly, like, come on. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And
Well,
again, I love the old ones, but I just think the 2 new chandeliers here on tour and in the West End are just better
mhm.
looking.
Yeah, and it's interesting. It's like there are a lot of things that have changed where actually now we're finally able to get Maria and Hal's original vision because the technology has caught up. So we have like the Escher drawings, we have like the sparkly tile on the wall
Yep.
and the journey to the lair. Like if you look really
Mm-hmm.
closely, Cameron McIntosh finally got his rats with the rat catcher.
Took him 39 years, but he
But
got him
he
finally.
got his rats. Because like yes, there is an LED wall. Everyone chill out. You won't know, literally you will not notice it's there. You do not notice it's there.
I didn't.
Um,
Most of it said.
yeah. Yeah. No, like we did an Instagram live the night after the first performance and like I mentioned an LED wall and Lindsey is like finding out live at at the show she was just at. There was
At
an
an
LED wall
LED.
sitting 10 rows ahead of me.
Yeah, and because the
um,
only thing that I clocked was the stairs on the journey to the lair,
yeah.
and I'm like, oh, okay. And I
Yeah.
thought that was something they just didn't do.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Well,
but no.
like the graveyard, for example, has these weeping angels that look like actual statues, and those are part of the LED wall. There were things that like there are real cloth backdrops,
Mm-hmm.
and there's some of the backdrops that I'm like, wow, those are way more vibrant than they are in the West End, and it's because
Yeah.
they are LED walls. And guys, this is a tour. Like they need to load up trucks, and it's actually insane that this much set is going to have 3-day turnarounds and have 1 week long.
Wild.
like 1 week
That's
long
insane.
stands in some cities, with like some of like the Hannibal elephant is the biggest and glitziest Hannibal elephant I've ever
Yep.
seen.
Yep. Big
Um,
Bertha. She's huge.
yeah, the and like they've really gone. I was thinking about this. Like they've gone big. This is bigger than London, which makes
Yeah.
also like it's a tour, and that also makes it also makes sense that which is insane. But that also
Hmm.
makes sense because His Majesty's Theater it seats 1,200 people,
Yeah, it's small.
right? Like
It's
this is
tiny.
going to touring theaters. That is like the Eccles Theater in Salt Lake City, where this show is stopping sometime in the spring, seats 2,500 people.
Yeah.
So like the
It's nuts.
blinginess needs
It
to
needs to be
reach.
bigger.
It
Yep.
needs to be bigger, and it is bigger. Um, and
Back
so
on
like
LA.
with
Go ahead.
and so and like so yeah, and so with all of this technical stuff, so there's all this extra tech. Let's start talk. Let's talk about like all these technical things that have gone.
I think for me, it's because again, for those
Yeah,
listening, I've only seen it the one time, so I can only speak
yeah,
to Friday. But um, a lot of it was the odd queuing error or
hmm
delay, and a lot of it, again, like we spoke about after the show, was
hmm
if you're one of us and you know the pacing and the rhythm of the
hmm
show, you notice it. If
yeah,
you're not one of us, you don't. Um, there was I can't remember where it was, but there was one delay where it was kind of a little bit awkward, and they might have noticed that.
yeah,
Um, and of course the boat, um, the candle in Final Lair.
yeah,
But those again are all things that can and do go wrong in London,
yeah,
right? Those can go wrong in any production on any day, and they have for
yeah.
39 years.
So
They don't. It doesn't worry me so much on those items, right? But yeah.
So this is actually why I want to talk about some of the stuff that's going wrong or went wrong in the context of all of these changes. Like this
Hmm.
is, it's almost like my tinfoil hat here. So when the show first opened, the boat wasn't boating.
Nope.
Like, right? The boat did not boat. There was like emergency signal, confusion, right? Like, and if the boat doesn't boat,
Yep.
like you have no jump shows. Like if the candle
Hmm.
doesn't, the candle, the noose is weird.
Yep.
So Saturday show, everything went wrong.
Oh no.
Yeah. Saturday show, the boat came out on the at the right queue during Phantom of the Opera and stopped, and three stagehands had to get out and move it, and so they walked out, and then so that was and it was Phantom of the Opera, and then in final, and then uh they did at least like so, and the first night was a no jump show. So for the first night we went, it was kind of lurchy during Phantom of the Opera, but it got out. But
Yeah.
then it didn't work during Down Once More, which
Yep.
meant that Raoul couldn't jump. Saturday night, it didn't work during Phantom of the Opera, but it did work during Down Once More, so Raoul could jump. But during Final Lair, the portcullis like almost didn't raise during Final Lair, and there was a
Oh
really
no.
awkward delay. And then, like, there was some crazy stuff with the noose. The noose was hanging over the cast during the curtain call.
Are you serious? Oh
Yeah.
my God. I'm sorry.
The Punjab lasso was hanging over. I deliberately did not post this on the internet.
Yeah. It wanted its own curtain
Um,
call.
it won its own curtain call. But I'm sharing all of this because like these are things that have historically happened. All of
Oh
these
yeah.
things are things that historically went wrong and are like talked about by the original creatives as things that went wrong. And then on Sunday, when Andrew Lloyd Webber was there, everything went off without a hitch. And it felt like to me that it was like because everything that went wrong in 1986 went wrong, it felt to me like the ghosts of Maria, Jillian, and Hal were like, "You're good."
Yeah. Not today. Not today.
Not today. Um,
Be behaved. Not today.
not today.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, and there was like there Saturday was a show, but that's what happens. Like it's almost like that in theater. It's like you have one
Yep,
show that is an
yep,
absolute you get through it before
yep,
the show where everything works.
yep. You
And
know,
that's
the
exactly
old
what
saying,
happened.
like, yeah, like you have a terrible dress rehearsal,
Yeah.
but the opening goes great, right? Like
Yeah.
theater people are good with that. Like that's kind of
Yeah.
how it goes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's hilarious actually. But
Yeah. Yeah. And with all of these, like with all of these changes and with all these folks, it's like, do we talk about Top Gun now?
I feel the need
Feel the need.
for
Feel the
speed.
need for speed.
Do it.
It's time with some stuff, it's like it's time to let go.
Gotta let go, Mav. It just doesn't matter who the better pilot is, but you just gotta let go. Uh, for the listeners, yeah, we're gonna have
Yeah.
Top Gun references throughout
Yeah.
all of these episodes, so strap in. And
Yeah.
but no, completely agree. It's the show has always evolved, right?
Yeah.
From the day that it opened in 1986, it has never stayed truly static. There's been updates in makeup, in costumes, in lyrics, in
Hmm.
blocking from day one.
Hmm.
So the people acting like it's the brilliant original or die. Okay, which brilliant original? Because it has
Right.
evolved so much over the years. Every production is a little bit different than the other. And within a production, it's going to change from year to year. So define for me brilliant original, right?
Right.
And also, there can be improvements. I think because I got into some tiff with somebody on Facebook, like an adult, and this person's thing was like, you can't improve upon Hal Prince and Maria Bjornsson. Well, maybe not, but you know what? You can update. And
Right.
like you said, with the chandelier and the LED wall providing more depth to the scene and more richness to the
Hmm.
scene, you can improve upon, right? You can enhance. And I think that's what's happened. But I think people are also probably a little bit gun shy from the Restage tour.
Hmm.
And I'm wondering if they are just blowing it out of proportion because of what happened with the Restage tour.
I,
So,
yeah.
uh, I mean, your thoughts. That's kind of where I'm at with it right now. I'm just a little bit sick of
Yeah.
everybody, but that's a whole nother rant. But yeah, I think it is possible to have a production that makes things better.
I agree. I think I mean, there's also some like, online stan culture,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
right? Right.
Hardcore.
Where like folks will hear me say this in a reel if I haven't posted it already by the time I post this, but like you're allowed to like something because it's good,
Yeah.
even if people like who you've never met on Tumblr don't like it because it's different than a version that they saw in a bootleg. Like,
Mhm. Yeah.
right?
It's
Like,
totally fine.
yeah.
You can
And
enjoy things.
you can enjoy things. I mean, and it's also like which brilliant original is a great like there's actually technically one brilliant original that's still running and it's Japan and that has evolved a gazillion
Yeah.
times.
Can we talk real quick? Kind of
Yeah.
related, kind of a little bit of a rabbit hole, but on that note, the can I swear on this?
Yeah.
Okay, good. The
I'm a
bitching and
sailor.
complaining. Fuck yes, I like this. Good. The bitching and complaining about the Pegasus and No Angel. The Japanese production and tours and whatnot over the years, pre-COVID, this is a brilliant original era, right? Has used a Pegasus. Not the same Pegasus as what we see now, but they had venues where they couldn't physically lower the angel
Hmm.
without it getting in the way of the travel path of the chandelier. So in those venues, guess guess where they did the reprise from? On stage, on a Pegasus statue. So the whatever we want to call this, the brilliant original defense league culture that they've got going on, seem to always forget that that was actually part of a brilliant original production.
Hmm.
and it's
Yeah.
being used now, right? So don't come at me with, oh,
Yeah.
the angel. Right. But again, Japan has
Yeah.
been doing it the entire damn time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
That's a
what
great point.
yeah, that's a
So
rabbit hole I went down last night. I'm like, bitches, I got you.
So I think about this and I think about like their changes that like they're always changes like they're changes that I love, they're changes that I
Mhm.
hate, they're changes that I don't think about, and they're changes that
Yep.
grow on me. I think about like the Pegasus is a change that grew on me. Like
Yep.
I love that moment where the Phantom comes out of the angel and you're like
Mhm.
jump scare, like what you've been
Yep.
but like they're they're if the hippodrome has a very, very large overhang.
Hmm.
The overhang starts
Yep.
at like row N. Like half the orchestra would miss where that angel is.
Yep.
And same like His Majesty's, it also comes pretty far
Hmm.
out.
Hmm.
So like you would miss a lot. And so whereas like no, with the horse, like that's not solved for. This
Yeah.
tour also changed something that they don't have in London, where in London he doesn't come that high up. Uh
No. Yeah, and I just saw it, I think, four
yeah,
times the other week, and mostly
yeah,
with Dean. And all James came up a little bit higher than Dean, but no,
yeah,
they are all pretty conservative in London with it. So
yeah. Like Isaiah's halfway out of that horse.
he's basically standing on his head. Let's just be
Yeah,
real.
yeah, yeah.
He's
Isaiah's
standing on
like
the horse's head.
really, really far out of the horse, which is great.
Yep.
And and like 'cause that was the one thing. I was like, jump out of this horse, please.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's go.
because that was the thing that I always loved is it was the change in height.
Yep.
And the one thing I do miss the Phantom running around the proscenium during Il Muto.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
still miss that a lot. Um, Changes I love. I mean, we can we're gonna probably spend a whole hour talking about wigs.
Before we move on from the angel thing, can I just
Yeah,
real quick on that while we're on that
yeah.
topic? So for me, I always loved the look of the old proscenium. I love the look of the angel, right?
Hmm.
I think from day one, I loved the Pegasus. Just because for me, and I might be the only person this has happened to, I don't know. Whenever the angel lowered, like it was awesome, loved it, but for whatever reason, it took me out of the scene for a minute.
Mm,
Every
mm,
damn time, every damn time. So because what's
mm.
happening on stage is there, and then he comes down from out of view, and it just kind of snapped me out of it for a minute. So I appreciated the Pegasus right away because it kept my focus
Oh,
in
that's a
the
good
scene.
point. Yeah,
Yeah, I've never met anybody who also felt that way, so it might just be me, but that was always a thing with the Angel, so I don't miss it coming
yeah,
down. I wish they would have like a smaller version of it on a false proscenium. That would be great,
yeah,
but it is what it is.
yeah, yeah. Um, okay. So do we want to move on to talking about like costumes, wigs, hair, makeup?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna start with because we did say changes we like, changes we don't like. I'm gonna start with the one there's literally one thing I actively do not like,
Same.
and that is Star Princess.
Yeah, yeah.
Jordan looks beautiful. I will say two things
Yep.
I like about the Star Princess. There have been some substantial fit issues with the London Star Princess bodice since 2021, and
Hmm.
they do seem to have fixed this fit because it fits really well. And it does have like the wings that were part of the original Star Princess.
Hmm.
But the US Star Princess was like one of the most iconic costumes in any production of the show ever.
Hmm.
And it's just gone. And now
Gone.
we're just doing like the London version, which is not even an original version. It's like something that seems to have evolved in like the last I don't know how long, but it's a recent-ish
Like I'd say
thing.
15 years. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And it's like fine, but it's also like there's this like really explicitly iconic costume. It's not a
yeah,
skill issue. Like they can make it.
yeah.
And it's not even just that they did the London version of the costume. This is like the worst version of this costume. The bodice doesn't match the skirt. the bodice isn't dyed, the skirt isn't floofy, and they
No,
don't have like the big plastic stars. Like it's god
it's like
awful.
it's like Lisa Frank vomited all over the Star Princess. It's kind of
Yeah,
that's what it makes me
that is
think of.
such,
Like
yes. Lisa Frank is, yeah. And
just
I like Lisa
like
Frank.
hey, I grew up on Lisa Frank, right? Like give me all the
Ooh.
neon dolphins in the world. I love it. But because I went back because after Friday we had the live, the next day I went back, I looked at photos of that dress, and you're right, like the bodice is just a completely different shade of pink than the skirt. And I've never really loved that version because it makes me just like the things on the arms just make me think of like floaties in a pool,
Yeah.
just like hanging out weirdly on the arms. And again, the US Star Princess, probably one of the best costumes in theater, I would
Yeah.
say. It's just gorgeous. And to do
That,
away with that is really pretty sad.
yeah. I'm gonna manifest. This is so dumb. I'm gonna manifest being I'm gonna manifest making silly videos about this on Instagram until we get the
Kim
US
Star
Star
Princess.
Princess back. Because that's how this works. It's not how this
It's
works, guys. It's not how this works at all. But
not at
that's
all, but we're gonna pretend.
in my Delulu, that's how this works.
We can
Um,
change.
but of all the things, that's literally the one thing I don't like. But it's also weird because there are also some US adaptations, like the Madame Furman dress is a US Madame Furman style.
Yeah.
Um, and there's some like US elements worked into some of the costumes. So it's like, and it also stands out because the masquerade costumes are all like more like I'm just there staring at Carlotta's Spider Witch Queen.
Hmm.
So it also stands out in that it's like everyone else's is critzy, 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 and hers is just
Yeah.
critzy.
Yeah.
Um, to take Maria Bjornsson's term. So that's the one thing we don't like. But everything else,
I have one thing. It's kind of along the same lines, and it was to a much lesser extent. It's the cuffs on the Phantom tailcoat.
ooh, let's talk
Yeah.
about that.
Let's talk about that. For those who don't know, I'm a completely nutter Phantom cosplayer, so these are things that I think about. And um, yeah, so the cuffs on Isaiah's coat, and I'm assuming will be the same on the understudies as well, is the full velvet cuff that you see in the West End and has been on the West End for say maybe 20 years at this point. I don't know. Whereas traditionally on the North American Phantom coats, they just have like on my cosplay, you see just that one little bit of trim on the cuff, much more understated. And so that was for years, that was a big indicator of if you were looking at a production photo and you didn't know right away who it was, you can at least tell which production it was just by looking at the coat. Um, and I think for me too, is like, because that was the actual first version of the costume that debuted on the West End. That was Michael Crawford's costume from the beginning. And at some point, West End transferred into this full velvet cuff situation. So for that to not be on the North American Phantom coat right now feels kind of like with Star Princess, but probably to a much lesser degree. Like we're losing a little bit of that North American identity, if you will.
Hmm.
And also, again, because that's what the original costume back in 1986 looked like. And that's gone too. So there's a part of me that is not concerned with the realities of the world right now. That is just a little bit sad to see the West End cuff on this coat, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Um, I did notice though, uh, Raoul's Hussar is totally new.
Yo, yeah, shiny, new.
Shiny new, and it's got some like there's some loops on there. It's like it's a totally new style that we haven't seen before. I mean, it is still the
Mhm.
Hussar.
Yep,
Um, and shout out to the very talented maker who made it.
yep.
friend,
Did you see
friend,
that she posted some photos of
yes,
that? Yep,
friend of the pod, friend of the pod.
yep.
Um, so the wigs in this show are wigging.
Wigging.
Um, so Isaiah is well, Isaiah is not the first Black Principal Phantom. He is the first to have a natural textured wig.
Yep.
Um,
Finally.
and finally, it's really incredible and it's really amazing to see. It's like not only natural texture, but like the cut and the shape of it
Mhm.
is this historically accurate haircut.
Yep.
Um, and like he posted like a tiny little snippet of it. Um, so Lindsay, I know like you're like the big hair and makeup person, so
We want to talk about the Phantom's look a little bit.
yes.
Yeah, let's do it. So we'll start with the wig, and of course, like again, that is a big deal, and we've had Black Phantoms going all the way back to LA with Robert
Hmm.
Guillaume, right? So it has been a minute. We
Yeah.
haven't had a lot, which is not really acceptable,
Hmm.
but we're getting there. But finally, to have a textured wig on a Black Phantom is amazing, and it looks so damn good.
It's
And I'm glad that you mentioned
awesome.
the cut because like it fits with that whole Victorian look. It's
Hmm.
impeccable. And we kind of mentioned too, like they matched also the alopecia and gave that some
Hmm.
texture as well. So that all flows together and looks very, very natural. So that's a big deal, and it looks so damn good. So,
Yeah.
and I'm again, you know me, I'm a Phantom purist when it comes to the look, but it looks
Yeah.
impeccable. So I'm glad that they really did their research. I think they really took the feedback and made it really something
Yeah.
special. So that's pretty cool. From the makeup standpoint, it is a whole new sculpt. So different prosthetics than we see like on the West End, different from when Broadway closed. Thank God. Uh, that wasn't my favorite prosthetic sculpt. It just didn't look that great. So this is totally new, and it looks
Yeah.
amazing. Um, and the designer did confirm that they're doing the 3D scanning on everybody, so everybody now has a custom set of prosthetics. They're not just using stock anymore, and there's no stock masks. They're all individually fitted through the 3D process, and it's really really cool. So you can really kind of
That's
tell.
awesome.
Oh yeah, no, it's again like finally like bringing technology to improve the production, right?
Yeah.
So I think that matters too. Again, for the audience, like not many makeup nerds in the audience like me, but uh, it's just kind of cool to know because you can tell like the fit is right. Um, and the colors that they're using are just really, really great too. So it was the right amount of shocking, but not distracting, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Um, and like so we've kind of touched on this a little bit, but like this is the most, as far as I know, this is like the most diverse cast
Hmm.
of Phantom ever.
Possibly ever. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, possibly ever. And like it really shows up in the wigs. Like so there are two black corps de ballet members and they both have different wigs.
Yep.
And they both have different wig textures.
Mhm.
And all of the corps de ballet members have different wigs. Um and like Madame Giry's wig is like 3 feet tall and amazing
Razor
and
sharp.
razor sharp. And it's not just like this is not just an incredibly diverse cast, like racially, like there's the cast all different sizes.
Hmm.
Like you have tall women and short men and like
Yep.
people who are all different body types and like that's really cool to see and that like everyone gets to be in these gorgeous costumes. um
They look but and they look that looks to me like a real opera company.
yeah,
Right? Like that looks like a real opera company and not like they've gone through 80,000 rounds of auditions to get everybody the same size. Right? Like,
right,
yeah, it
right,
looks it's great. Like you have to see it on
right.
stage to appreciate it, but I think it's amazing.
Yeah. And also if you look at everyone's bio, like if in the UK there's a system.
Hmm.
There is a system. You go to your training and you do your theater whilst training and you
Yep.
do your auditions and then you go to your show. And if you and that's the UK system and in general it's not so much of a system here, but like there was an open call, like a video open call, there was an
Hmm.
EPA, like everyone came into the show 14 different ways.
which I think is so cool. 'Cause you get like that again,
Yeah.
that different background, right? And you know,
Yeah.
like Carlotta and Piangi are probably going to be, no kidding, trained opera singers because of the
Yeah.
roles. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it just brings a different energy. It's really, really cool.
Yeah. Like the day the cast announcement came out, like Isaiah said, did an Instagram live and he said he like almost quit the business.
Yeah, you're right. Because
Yeah.
he was getting no's, right? Like the audition
Yeah.
process is what it is, and he was getting no's at the time.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of the last ones that he did, and he's just like, well, if this doesn't work, then fuck it. Um,
Yeah.
and look where he's at now.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
It's wild.
So we're gonna see, so we still haven't seen Alexa yet, but we will see her soon.
Hmm.
Um, so
Do we?
Alexa is
I was gonna say, do we know what her schedule is yet? Or
Hmm?
okay, fair enough. Tracking.
Um, you know what? Maybe I'll wait till the start. Well, yeah, we'll see when I
We'll talk
drop
later.
this. We'll talk later. Um, yeah. So, what else do we want to talk about? Did we make? Did I run through all these notes? What else do we want to talk about? I think everything.
I was pontificating on my long commute into work this morning, and
Yeah.
something that really kind of stuck out for me was Jordan's wishing.
Oh my God, Jordan's wishing.
Jordan's wishing.
If you're listening to this, I'm like doing the like screaming face.
Hands on head, yelling. Um, Phenomenal, and because she 100% her own take on it, 100% brilliant, but she was also kind of giving me Elizabeth Southern vibes in Wishing. And I mean that in the best possible way because Southern is still kind of like my gold standard for Wishing. Because there's a point in that song, no more memories, and she kind of just growls it, right? Like the character is fed up. She's, you know, you can just kind of tell like there's a change in her energy and change in her
Yeah.
attitude. And I kind of got that same vibe from Jordan when
Yeah.
she turned around from the crypt and she's no more memories and she just kind of really stabbed it. And I, was like, oh my God, I love
So
you.
it's really interesting with wishing. It's like I have, heard and seen like Christine's who are in their 20s who do like an overall amazing performance.
Yep.
But for some reason, Christine's in their 30s and 40s own wishing.
Oh yeah. There's life experience there, and you can just kind of
Yeah,
tell like
like
they are.
they own it. It's a life experience, and for whatever reason, the older soprano voices, for some reason, just own wishing, with the exception of Eve Shanu Wilson,
Yep.
Emily
Oh my God,
Kuwachu
yes,
on
thank
the
you.
Eve
Yep.
Shanu Wilson, Emily
Yep.
Kuwachu on the 35th anniversary, and Jordan Lee
And
Gilbert.
Jordan. Yep. Absolutely. 'Cause I thought the
Just
same thing.
like,
I'm like,
yeah. I'm like,
amazing.
this is one of the best wishings I've ever heard, and definitely one of the best wishings I've ever heard from an actress in her 20s.
Absolutely. Like,
From a Christine in her 20s.
yeah, and I spot on because I was also thinking kind of Eve, same type
Yeah.
of energy, and like it's like they attack it. They attack certain parts of a song in a
Yeah.
way that I think is from an energy standpoint and an intention standpoint is
Yeah.
so good,
Yeah.
and it kind of just punches you in the chest. But I just love it, love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like that kind of rolled into her point of no return because again, like when she clocks who it is that she's on stage with,
Hmm.
she kind of scoots off to kind of stage right. But like we talked about in the live, there's that fuck it moment where she just
Yeah.
immediately flips it. She's like, nope, I'm taking it back. Like the fuck around and find out moment, I think we call it. So
That's right.
yeah, so I
So,
appreciate those two bits of how she played those two scenes and how I feel like they kind of fed into each other. And I think that was really, really cool.
so what are we looking forward to as this tour evolves?
Um, of course, like of course it's like I want to see what they do with their roles. They're amazing right now. I kind of want to see what they do when they settle into them, 6 months from now,
Hmm.
what they're looking like, what choices are they making. Um, how does that change the dynamic from scene to scene? I think that'll be really exciting. So I'm considering going out to LA just to see it in LA once. We'll see. Um, but also, I think the other thing I'm excited about is the reception that they get at all the different tour stops, right? Like how the audiences are going to be so excited and the vibe. And, you know, we had Broadway pretty recently, closed in 2023, but the rest of North America hasn't had this
Yeah.
version in 15 years. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of thrilled just to see like just how they're received and kind of just spread the joy, right? Go forth and spread the joy
Yeah.
thing. I
No,
think that's kind of what I'm excited about the most.
no, that's such a great point, which is that East Coast audiences, like the audiences that were
Mhm.
here in Baltimore, have most likely seen Replica Phantom
Yep.
recently.
Hmm.
From here, probably not. Like maybe folks in Chicago, but probably not.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I agree. I'm really looking forward to seeing how folks settle into their role. We're just based on yesterday, we're getting the evolution of a cape swish from Isaiah.
Love it. Love that for him.
Um, I'm looking forward to seeing how people settle into their roles. I'm looking forward to seeing understudies
Hmm.
and how people play with each other, like different people play with each other. Because really, like, once you get about a month in, you really never have the same cast every day.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Um,
that's the fun part for me. I like seeing the show so often. So I'd like to
yeah,
see one, what's going on in the background of the scene
yeah,
that we don't normally look at, but also who's on for who and what changes. Like what
yeah,
differently what stuff are they going to do differently? And I think that's really fun. So
yeah,
yeah. It's gonna be a good time. You guys are in for
yeah,
a treat.
you are. All
And
right.
also, real
Yeah,
quick, again, like as
yeah,
they kind of go forth and you get more audiences to see them, I hope that kind of the that whatever we were talking about before with brilliant original or bust crowd starts to dissipate a little bit as people get in there
yeah,
and see it for what it is and see that it is absolutely amazing and things can be different and just be just as good, if not better.
yeah,
I want to see that shift a little bit.
yeah. No, this for me is like, is this a finish? This is like getting her like so definitive for. I think this is definitive for me. Like,
I think it is. I think because
yeah,
it's funny because I think it's blending some of the best elements of the different
yeah,
productions, right? Like
yeah,
we know West End is solid. It's bringing a lot of West End over, but it's also blending it with I'm getting very strong Third National Tour
yeah,
influences, and
yeah,
that makes me happy because I grew up on the Third National Tour. So um, yeah, I think it's this really cool blend,
yeah.
and
No, it's exactly, exactly.
yeah,
Um, um, oh, I'm so excited. America, you're in for such a treat.
and Canada
Um,
eventually,
and Canada eventually, North America,
North
you're in for
America.
North America, you're in for such a treat. We know this is going to go sit down in Toronto. If folks haven't noticed the tour schedule, the show is doing its long sit downs, places that it did long sit downs or had sit down productions
Hmm.
in the first and second national tours.
Yep.
So there's no way the show does not sit down in Toronto for like 3 months at some point.
And 100%. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Because and again, that's what Third National would do. They would go up there for 4 or 5 months at a time in Toronto
Yeah.
and just be. And so I'm excited too for the Toronto audiences who have a very long and storied history with Phantom to get
Yeah.
this stuff.
The wall is still there. Yeah.
It'll never go away. They'll never cover it up.
Anything else for the good of the order?
Um, no, I think there's more ranting to do probably about the fandom, but that probably best served for another day. Uh, I could go for hours,
Oh my
but
gosh.
oh yeah, it's gonna be good.
We could do a whole episode on dumb fandom stuff.
Oh my God, y'all aren't ready. I'm gonna go off anyway. But no, I think just kind of recapping and hyping the new tour. I think it's a
Yeah.
great start, and that's kind of where I'm at. Is just again just enjoying the experience that I had on Friday and looking
Yeah.
forward to what they are going to bring. And I'm just very excited for everybody.
Same. So
It's gonna
this
be
has
great.
been our inaugural episode of our fireside. That's a PH. Our fireside chats. Maybe
Love
to
it.
be renamed.
To be
Unedited.
determined. We don't know yet.
Unedited, low budget. It's, just two fans chatting about Phantom. So we'll see you next time.
Happen.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.